Hello and welcome to Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Osman. In this week's episode, we have details on a new roundabout intersection in DeLand. The passenger traffic numbers continue to soar at the Daytona Beach International Airport. And a crew of our local lifeguard force has advanced to the national championships. Plus, Joanne Magley talks with Keith Norden, President and CEO of Team Volusia. Those segments, news, and more coming right up on Volusia Magazine. I hope you stay tuned. In Florida, more than 44% of all traffic fatalities and serious injuries occur at conventional intersections. But roundabouts have been proven to reduce the number of fatal and severe injury crashes by more than 82% over a stop-controlled intersection and 78% over a signalized intersection. The circular intersections are commonly used around the world, and they're becoming increasingly popular here in the United States. The Florida Department of Transportation enacted a new policy last year stating that it will evaluate a roundabout as an alternative each time an intersection is constructed or reconfigured. Officials from FDOT met recently with DeLand residents to educate them about the benefits of roundabouts. FDOT is moving forward with plans to place a roundabout at the intersection of State Road 44 and Grand Avenue in DeLand. Construction of the new roundabout will begin in early August and should be completed in March.
In this particular circumstance, the State Road 44 roundabout, we're recommending it because of the positive benefits for long-term crashes. This is going to reduce the number of crashes significantly, and it's going to either further reduce the number of injury crashes at that intersection, and it's a grand safety benefit that we're working towards. One of the things about roundabouts is, and I'm glad you tapped into this, they're greener. When you have a roundabout, you're having less emissions into the environment because you continue. You're not stopping, that your engine's not revving, and you're not polluting as much.
A roundabout is a one-way circular intersection without traffic signals in which traffic flows counterclockwise around a central island. The roundabout uses signals to guide motorists and has safe passages for pedestrians and bicyclists. In general, vehicle speeds are under 25 miles per hour in a roundabout. This traffic calming effect gives motorists more time to judge and react to pedestrians, bicyclists, and other vehicles. Volusia County currently has roundabouts at the Pavilion in Port Orange and on A1A in New Smyrna Beach. For more information, you can do a Google search for FDOT roundabouts. For the 8th consecutive month, more passengers are flying in and out of Daytona Beach International Airport. Passenger traffic at the county-run airport increased 7% for June in comparison with June of last year. During the month, 58,169 passengers flew in or out of the county-operated airport when compared to 54,397 passengers last June. For the 12 months ending June 30th, total passenger traffic at the Daytona Beach International Airport increased 5%, with 633,292 passengers traveling through the facility last year compared to 664,292 passengers this year. The capacity, or number of seats offered to DAB, increased by 17% in June. This month marks the 8th consecutive month of year-over-year passenger traffic increases. Jay Cassens, Business Development Director at Daytona Beach International Airport, says the increase is again due to added seats by airlines.
We've actually seen capacity increase too with American, Delta, and of course the addition of JetBlue in January. So things are going well. Actually, June is typically a slow month. It's one of our slower months. January, June, even February can be one of our slower months. So July and August should be a lot busier. So we should actually see bigger increases in July.
Currently, 3 airlines serve Daytona Beach International Airport: JetBlue, which offers daily nonstop service to New York City; Delta, which offers nonstop service to Atlanta; and American, which flies nonstop to Charlotte. For flight and ticket information, you can visit flydab.com. Career Source is a vital link between business and local workforce and training solutions. Kate Sark has the story on this week's Business Beat.
No matter your employment status or background, Career Source Flagler Volusia has the resources to help you achieve your career goals. Programs run the gamut, from helping young adults earn their GED to assisting veterans, preparing and updating resumes, honing interview skills, and more. But don't let all their programs intimidate you. Lou Paris, Innovation and Communication Director for Career Source Flagler Volusia, advised that because they offer such a multitude of resources, they often find that the community isn't always aware of all the opportunities available. That's why Career Source works to ensure each individual gets the assistance they need.
When someone comes to our center, there's a variety of different services that we can offer. Typically, we try to assess those needs up front. There's someone who will greet this person and put them through a series of questions so we can better understand what their situation is and what we can do for them.
Career Source Flagler Volusia not only helps people find jobs, but helps those who are already employed to further their career through continued education.
Because we don't focus just on giving someone a job, we focus on developing a career. We make a point of helping everyone understand what their strengths are through assessments and see where their interests lie. And with that information, we empower the individual to make better decisions about their career in the future. This means that there's just not finding a job just to be able to, subsist. That may be part of the plan, but long term, we make sure that we get this person in a career that has a great future, a career that is not contracting, that is actually expanding, and where the potential for income is greater.
Paris advised that not only has unemployment decreased in Volusia County over the past year, but that the net worth and purchasing power of the area is increasing, which leads to a demand for higher paying jobs.
The kinds of jobs that we see coming in, that become available, there's a wide spectrum, anywhere from minimum wage jobs, all the way to jobs that are significant. We're talking, $60,000, $70,000. We have seen that. How frequently they come, that varies. It also varies with any major project that comes to town. But my expectation is that as time progresses and as peripheral industries surface because of these new structures that are created, we'll have more need for jobs of that nature, jobs that pay more and more, in the neighborhood of $60,000, $70,000, $100,000 and even more.
Career Source Flagler Volusia also recognizes the growing trend in local entrepreneurship and is working to help prepare these startup businesses for the challenges they may face in opening a company. Startup Quest, a program that came to the region several years ago, connected underemployed and unemployed individuals with successful CEOs and entrepreneurs who worked as a team to develop a business plan around technologies that came from research institutions in Florida. After participating in the 10-week course, teams competed in a pitch contest where they presented their plan to a panel of judges and investors who ultimately selected a first, second, and third place winner.
We think that Startup Quest is a very beneficial program for the community, and I say that because of the results. Since the program completed, we have been able to track 91 individuals, from which 80 have right now employment, full employment. And let me say that it's relevant because the individuals who were part of the program were mature individuals who had been unemployed for a long period of time. This demographic group tends to be the most difficult to place. By virtue of, the longer you're unemployed, it just becomes more difficult to regain employment. There's a perception that people tend to lose their skills over time, but 80 out of 91, that's 87%, have regained employment. So we know that's working. And the other beautiful thing is that from the technologies that were used during the program, I know for a fact that 2 have been licensed to the people who were in the program.
Thanks to this success, CareerSource Flagler Volusia is discussing the possibility of conducting a new round of Startup Quest, this time focusing on working with local universities. They're also discussing additional training programs for the future. If you're interested in learning more about what CareerSource Flagler Volusia can offer you, visit careersourcefv.com. For the Business Beat, I'm Kate Sark.
Here's a look at some events happening around Volusia County. For more events and county news, visit volusia.org. Volusia County lifeguards recently ran, swam, and paddled their way into first place at the 2016 USLA Southeast Regional Life-Saving Championships. Beating out 20 teams from up and down Florida's coasts, the lifeguards put their skills to the test at the two-day competition at Siesta Beach in Sarasota. 25 Volusia County lifeguards participated in events that included Run, Swim, Run, Rescue Board, surf rescue, and relay races, along with a 2K beach run. Beach safety captain Tammy Maris says lifeguards have to be able to endure these types of intense activities, especially since a typical day working on the beach could include rescuing dozens of people from the water.
All the people that go up there to compete are the lifeguards. They're full and part-time. We have officers that go to these competitions, as well as our part-time lifeguards that go to these competitions. And these are the lifeguards you see on a day-to-day basis sitting down here on the towers and driving the trucks and making rescues.
Top performing lifeguards include AJ Miller, April O'Gorman, Jackson Hewson, Alan Holt, and Hallie Peterson. In addition to earning bragging rights and medals from the competition, top finishers O'Gorman and Hewson qualified for the national championships, which will be at Hermosa Beach, California in August. Additionally, Peterson will be joining the USLA High Performance Squad, which will compete against more than 40 countries in the Netherlands in September. That squad is composed of elite lifesaver athletes who have been recognized for their superior performance in regional, national, and international competitions.
Nationals, you're talking hundreds of teams, thousands of competitors. It's a really big competition. I mean, you're talking probably the most elite athletes around the country.
Stay up to date with Beach Safety Ocean Rescue by liking us on Facebook or following us on Twitter at Volusia Beach.
Mosquitoes will bite day and night, so protect yourself with these tips. Keep mosquitoes outside by shutting doors and covering windows with screens. Use EPA-approved insect repellents anytime you're outdoors. Cover your skin with long sleeves and pants. Mosquitoes lay their eggs in water. Just a bottle cap of water is all they need. So drain, refresh, or cover anything around buildings that can hold water at least weekly, and put away outside items that aren't being used. A message from the Florida Department of Health.
The Volusia County Library System has more than just books. Here's a look at upcoming programs at our branches. For more library events, visit volusialibrary.org. It's time to go into the studio and join the Director of Community Information, Joanne Magley, and her guest, the President and CEO of Team Volusia, Keith Norden.
Thanks, Amber. Well, economic development in Volusia County is a team sport, and the new company recruitment effort is led by Team Volusia Economic Development Corporation. So today we are joined in the studio with Keith Norden, President and CEO of Team Volusia. Hi, Keith.
Hi, how are you, Joanne?
Good, thanks for being here.
Good.
So tell people who may not be familiar with Team Volusia a little bit about what your organization does.
Sure, we're the public-private county-wide economic development organization that actually recruits, goes out and identifies companies from outside the area who may have an interest in expanding or relocating to Volusia County.
So let's talk in general terms. How do you define economic development?
It's actually economic growth and a diversification of the economy. So instead of us being dependent on one sector or another, totally dependent, our charge is really to diversify into industry sectors that tend to be higher paying jobs.
So Team Volusia concentrates on recruitment.
Exactly.
And then the county has an economic development division, and they concentrate on retention and expansion efforts.
Exactly.
And then you also have the CEO Business Alliance, an organization that works with the two of your organizations to even help grow economic development even more. Tell us a little bit how the three work together.
Oh, we work very collaboratively. The county, of course, takes charge of business expansions and retention along with the chambers of commerce in our cities. And then the CEO Business Alliance actually provides services that we can't provide because we're a public-private entity. And of course, the board consists of the corporate titans of the area. So it's great to have that organization available for our recruitment efforts if our projects need to be touched by the business leadership of the county.
So when you're out there basically selling Volusia County, recruiting various businesses to this area, what are some of your key selling points?
Well, our diversified labor force that are trained. We have our 45,000 college students, our strategic location in Central Florida on the Atlantic coast at the intersection of I-95 and I-4, plus all the other advantages that we have. Lower cost taxes as far as the state of Florida. We're number 4 as far as affordable taxes relative to 50 states.
And I would imagine that big brand names such as the Daytona Beach International Speedway, Embry-Riddle, organizations like that who have a history here and who are known worldwide probably help in the recognition of where we're at and associations.
Oh, very much so. Embry-Riddle has a global impact with their Embry-Riddle Worldwide organization. We have, of course, Daytona International Speedway, and the brand Daytona is known globally.
Right. So take us through the steps from when you first hear of a possible company that wants to relocate here through the very end to when you're able to make that announcement that we have a new company.
Sure. Well, of course, our purpose with all of our outreach is to identify companies or build relationships where those relationships can refer companies to us. So we go through that. Once we identify them, we start talking with them seriously about their interests and qualifying them to see whether they can expand or relocate. We are typically competing against many communities throughout the United States and particularly the Southeast. So we have to make sure that they're comfortable with the Southeast, comfortable with Florida. So we sell Florida, and then we sell, of course, Volusia County. The number one priority is to invite them to visit. If they don't visit, they probably won't understand Volusia County. So we want them to visit. We want them to take a look at our product, meet our business leadership, our political leadership, get a sense of Volusia County and the advantages, and then hopefully they will select a site or building that meets their needs. Now, during this whole process, site selection is a process of elimination. So if they are looking at 28 other cities, we are likely to be eliminated. We could be eliminated. So it's not typically where a company will come in and say, we want Volusia County. We're vying for the project amongst
Right.
numerous states.
So you recently returned from Farnborough, which is an international trade show with an aviation theme. Tell us about that trip and what you accomplished there, and then what you hope to carry over here now that you're back.
It was very exciting. This is the second largest air show, international air show in the world. The first is Paris, and that's every other year. Farnborough is the second every other year, and so we actually exhibited. Team Volusia had a small exhibit in the Florida Pavilion. Florida happened to have the largest amount of companies and organizations of any state in the U.S. there at Farnborough, and we were strategically located next to Embry-Riddle. And so the synergies there between the two groups were great in the Florida Pavilion. We had pre-scheduled 15 appointments while I was there, other than the typical follow-up from previous air shows. We've met with those companies, and actually I'm qualifying and sending information to those shows, but we did identify numerous projects at the show.
So why is an air show such as that important for us to be at? I assume it's because of the fact that Volusia County has a very strong aviation industry to support new industries.
That's correct. With the 400 manufacturers in VMA and our colleges and universities, more importantly, we have the Daytona Beach International Airport. We have 4 other general aviation airports, and then we have numerous sites and buildings to actually present to these companies. Our location next to the Space Coast, just within an hour from Kennedy Space Center, is attractive. And in fact, I was joined by Space Florida and other communities around Florida, as well as Governor Scott and the leadership of Enterprise Florida.
And I would imagine that bringing an aviation-related business to Volusia County also comes with that higher wage because of the more skill that's involved in the jobs.
That's correct, and that's why it's an important industry sector for Volusia County. Not only the available land and sites around Daytona Beach International Airport, but the wages for aviation and aerospace are much higher than other industry sectors.
So what other factors are important when it comes to a business deciding if they want Volusia County or not? I'm sure that an industry that's in the Northeast that gets hit, year after year, cold, snow, ice, I'm sure that the weather here and the lifestyle here might have a little bit of a factor.
It does, and we tend to go to higher cost areas when we do our recruitment missions. We go to the Northeast, we go to certain areas of the Midwest and California, where the cost of doing business and the ease of doing business is less attractive.
So, and what makes, why is, I guess, Volusia County more attractive as far as costs associated with?
Well, if you look at the Northeast, it's our utility rates. Our utility rates are very attractive. Our tax structure for the state is very attractive. The state has no personal income tax. And so, and our availability of labor and lack of massive traffic situations, it's easy to get your employees from one place to another. Plus the availability of labor.
So you do a lot of traveling, but then you also like to bring the site selectors here, and I know you recently partnered with Enterprise Florida again to bring a group of site selectors right here to the Daytona Beach area. Tell us a little bit about that.
We did. We were very excited to partner with Enterprise Florida to bring 15 top site selectors from around the country, Canada and Germany, to Volusia County, based around and wrapped around the Coke Zero 400 event on Saturday, but we actually brought them in a day early so that they could get a sense of the area. They met with all of our practitioners from every city in Volusia County. At Stetson University, Dr. Libby opened up the school for us to meet, and then we had an afternoon and evening in downtown DeLand, including the farmers market and a lot of things in downtown DeLand. And then the next morning, we organized an event at Embry-Riddle to do an aviation and aerospace talk and talk about the new Embry-Riddle Research Park. In both days, both Friday and Saturday, we did windshield tours of some of the major projects here in East and West Volusia.
So what was some of the feedback you got from that tour?
I wish I had brought the letter. It's wonderful. One of the top selectors said they never were able to join the dots here to see how well Volusia County worked and the assets here, and hope to bring business to us, and others the same. So we really hope to, and again, it's the visit to the area so that they can understand and see firsthand.
Right. So
what we're all about.
I'm sorry, anything else coming up in the near future as far as events or programs?
No, we just have a lot of people on the road. We have an average of 28 outreach events each year. So I've got a team of folks that get on the road and try to meet with site selectors and also other commercial realtors and industry leaders in the respective leaders. We'll be going to Japan in September and having an aerospace aviation doing Florida business seminar there in Tokyo in September.
All right. Well, Keith Norden, anything else you want? How can people get a hold of you for more information?
Oh, our website is www.tvedc.com. They're always welcome to call me or the team, and we'd love and welcome people to get involved in our organization. We're a public-private organization, and there's plenty of room to get involved.
All right. Well, Keith Norden, President and CEO of Team Volusia, thanks for being here today.
Thank you, Joanne.
Amber, let's go back to you.
Thanks, Joanne, and thank you too for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about the show, you can feel free to give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org and click on the News tab at the top of the screen to find us. Incidentally, you can find the County Council's meeting calendar there too. In fact, you can use volusia.org to find out about meeting dates, workshops, topics of interest, activities, and how you can become involved. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today. That's Volusia County Government's weekly public radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Osmond. Have a wonderful evening.